Okay, so I'm going to film a little bit of me working with Mab. Mab is just about 3 years old. Yeah, I think 2, 3, something like that. So this is her Viv. I think she's 2 actually. My apologies, she's 2. It's Yig that's 3 or 4. So Mab's out. You can see her here. Apologies for the reflection on the glass, and also I probably sound a little bit sniffly because I have hay fever. So if I snuffle, I'm sorry. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I've walked over to the Viv, and Mab is not reacting. Okay, so she's not puffing her cheeks, she's not running away, she's just kind of staring. Okay, so now I'm gonna open her door. Mab's pretty friendly these days, but she is just, she recently came out of her kind of teen angst phase. You can see she's still not reacting. I think she might actually be asleep. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my hand and I'm just going to put it here. And I want to see if she's awake. I don't think that she is. So I'm going to do a little bit of tappy tap until I'm pretty sure. There we go. We've got a tongue flick. Okay. So I know that she's awake, which is fine. And all I'm going to do is let her figure out it's me. So we're just going to do this. Now, if she'd run away at this point, I would have retreated. But we're just going to let her... Hi, baby girl. How you doing? Hello. Hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. Hi. Hi, baby. You're such a pretty girl. Now, I'm not going to touch her because she's not approaching. I actually don't want to... Mab's pretty tame at this point and pretty friendly. I could if I wanted to, but if I was still working with her and she wasn't already, pretty habituated to me, I don't want to go and touch her without her consent, if that makes sense. So all I want her to do is to just have a sniff of me. I'm going to move a little bit just so that, she gets used to me moving around. And I might do this for a little while and she might decide, okay, so she might have retreated, but in this case, she's decided to come over to me. If she'd retreated, I would also have retreated and removed my hand. Okay, so actually she is. She's like, no, I don't want to do this right now. I'm not interested. So I'm going to mirror her and I'm just going to pull back and I'm going to close her door. There we go. So if she had approached me, I would have stopped moving and she could have climbed onto my hand or she could have sat on my fingers and had a look at me. What she's done here is she's decided, no, I'm really not in the mood for you right now. I kind of want to be left alone. And she's pulled back, but she's not fled. So she didn't run away. She didn't flat. She didn't hiss. She just had a look, decided she was not... The vibe check was wrong, and she didn't want to do that, so she's pulled away, and so have I. Now, that's what I was doing with Mab for pretty much the entirety of the time of her being very stroppy, and more often than not, what would happen is I'd put my hand in, she would hiss at me, she would bluff at me, and then she would retreat, and so would I. But I would just kind of keep doing that until eventually... she still doesn't really like me, but she was comfortable with me putting my hand in and doing things, and she would maybe yell at me from a distance, or she might come over to yell at me in person a little bit closer. But over time, that was just what I was doing. When Mab wants to come out, she actually comes up against the glass. She knows how to do that. So I was very aware when I interacted with her right now that she didn't want to talk to me, because if she wanted to talk to me, she'd be against the glass. But hopefully that was helpful just to show what I'm doing with her when she's really not in the mood or when she wasn't particularly socialized. It can be a little bit disheartening because it can take a long time. You can feel like you're not making a lot of progress. And I certainly felt like that with Mab for a long time. I spent many, many months doing